so that at the end of the show, we know whose work belongs to whom. Okay, we're good to go. Welcome, everyone. We are here at the beautiful Hoboken Library. I want to start this class, as every class, by thanking the Hoboken Library for their generosity in allowing us to have these classes, these Art with Liz classes here and at home. They are hybrid. You can see us on YouTube and the Hoboken Library Facebook page, and also through Zoom. And folks can also attend here in person. So thank you so much, Hoboken Library. We are in the month of April, and every month we have a theme. This month, we are launching a celebration of artists who are Arab American, and it is also National Poetry Month and also Jazz Appreciation Month. So we have a triple celebration month: Arab American Heritage Month, National Poetry Month, and Jazz Celebration Month. And we have a twofer today, a two for the price of one incredible artist named Atel Adnan. Atel Adnan she's no longer living, unfortunately, was a Lebanese American poet and visual artist. So not only is she, or was she, Arab American, but she was both a painter and a poet, and of great renown. She was very well known for both her poetry and her visual art. We're going to focus mainly today on her painting and her painting career, but as an additional treat, I have several of her poems that while we're working today, if you like, I will read to you. We're going to start, as always, with a slideshow of her work to look at, talk about, and think about. And then I have lots of different art media for you to use today so that you can create your own artwork, hopefully inspired by what we look at in the slideshow. Any thoughts or questions before I begin the slideshow? I think I'm predicting you're going to like her work. Let's see. Atel Adnan. So Ms. Adnan was born February 1925, and she died November 14th, 2021. She was a Lebanese American poet, essayist, and visual artist. In 2003, she was named, quote, the most celebrated and accomplished Arab American author writing today by the academic journal Melis, Multi-Ethnic Literature of the United States. And this is her visual art. So much of her paintings are about the landscape of Lebanon, where she grew up, but also the western part of the United States, where she lived a good part of her life as well. California. I also think Colorado was a place that she spent some time as well. One of her influences, I just blocked the name of the artist. Don't you hate when that happens? We're going to come to that in a few minutes. I want to say Paul Klee. Paul Klee was a huge influence for her when she was coming up and going to art school. Lebanon. She is, oh, Paul Klee. Swiss or Austrian? Okay. We wish that Lindsay's looking it up. Whenever I say he's Swiss, people tell me no, he's Austrian. Whenever I say he's Austrian, people say no, he's Swiss. But we're focusing on Etel Adnan today. She was born in Beirut in 1925. Her mother was Greek Orthodox from Smyrna, and her father, Asaf Kadri, was a Sunni Muslim Turk and a high-ranking Ottoman officer born in Damascus, Ottoman Syria. So she is a multi-ethnic person. She came from a multi-ethnic background. Her mother was, in fact, Albanian. Her grandfather was a Turkish soldier, and her father came from a wealthy family. Her mother was poor. They met in Smyrna during World War I. Welcome. Her father actually was already married when he met Adnan's mother, married with 3 children. And her mother was only 16 when he met she met Adnan's father. At a time when the Greeks in Turkey were in concentration camps. Adnan grew up speaking Greek and Turkish in a primarily Arabic-speaking society, and then she was educated in French. So she was multilingual. Language was very important in her poetry. Her works, her visual art is primarily in oils. She studied English in her youth. Her first written works were in French. And at 24, she traveled to Paris, where she received a degree in philosophy from the University of Paris. From there, she traveled to the United States, where she continued graduate studies at UC Berkeley, my alma mater, and at Harvard University. From 1958 to 1972, she was a professor of philosophy at the Dominican University of California in San Rafael. She lectured at many universities throughout the United States. So, brightly colored landscapes, very simple, quite abstract. Not quite sure what's going on. Stephanie, you seem to be using some kind of drawing tool.
Oh, sorry.
It's very nice, but it's making it a little hard for us to see our slideshows.
Right, let's see if I can, yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
She does like to lean more towards the abstraction in her work. That's why I'm showing this particular painting, which is quite different from the others. And sorry, Stephanie, if there's a way to erase the lines that you've created, that would be awesome too.
The B is a part.
No, the B and what looks like a star shape. Ah, perfect. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Yeah, that's great.
This reminds me of what we do with the potato.
Yes, but I'm guessing she did this either with a palette knife or with the flat end of the brush, where she just kind of whacked the paint onto the canvas. What do you think? Do you like it? You love it.
I like it better than the first ones.
Oh, interesting. Can you say why, Margot?
You had her, but I like.
I just think looks like, more effort went into it,
Okay,
and I like the colors.
awesome. So Adnan returned from the US to Lebanon. She worked as a journalist and editor in a newspaper, a French language newspaper in Beirut. In later years, she began to identify as lesbian. She met her partner, Simone Fattal, in 1972. And Simone Fattal, I know very little about, but she also is a visual artist. And they worked together and founded something called the Post Apollo Press in 1982. Adnan lived in Paris and Sausalito, California, and she died in Paris on November 14th, 2021, at the age of 96. There's a wonderful video interview of her that I thought about sharing with all of us, but the sound quality is not that great. But I recommend it if you want to learn more about her and her incredible life. She really led an extraordinary life. You can find it on YouTube. And there is a full-length documentary about her. The filmmaker is Marie Valentine Reagan, or Regan. And it's about the last 5 years of her life, and it was made in 2023. So these are her earliest works. They're made using a palette knife, where she applied the oil paint onto the canvas, often directly from the tube, in firm swipes across right onto the canvas. She was interested in, quote, the immediate beauty of the color. In the 1960s, she began integrating Arabic calligraphy into her artworks and her books. I don't have any representations of those works. I would love to see them. In 2014, there were a collection of her paintings and tapestries at the Whitney Biennial. This is the kind of work she's most famous for. I don't know. Remember, guys, I'm not an art historian. So that kind of information I don't really look for. I invite you to look it up. Morning, Daniel.
It's at the Whitney.
Yeah. I'm more interested in the composition and the colors. The way she placed the red sun slightly off center like that really makes for a dynamic composition, particularly with the red mountain in the lower right-hand corner. Even though the sun is a slightly different shade of red, it's a more orangey red than the red of the mountain. They work well together. And the red mountain against the yellow-green mountains make for a very powerful picture. So she's been in many exhibitions throughout the world, including the Centre Pompidou in Paris, Mass MoCA in Massachusetts, etc. The Whitechapel Gallery in London. You can see the influence of Paul Klee. Those of you who remember, we have looked at Klee in the past, and Paul Klee, K-L-E-E. So she did say in the interview that I watched about her that the landscapes do remind her of Lebanon. Any of you here ever been to Lebanon?
They say it's the Switzerland of the Middle East. So
A lot of mountains, I guess.
looks now. Many wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still probably no problem.
It's a very sad history, yeah. How much do we love that pink stripe down the left-hand side of the green cliff?
We love it.
We love it. Thank you, Stephanie.
I'd love to take it on.
And it's so unexpected with the other colors in the picture. That's what attracts me to it. Yes. And it's unexpected. It's completely unexpected.
The one in the bottom.
Oh, sorry.
That's good. I like it like that.
I'm sorry to whomever was making the comment about the last picture. This one looks like a collage, but it's not. It's probably one of her earlier works. This feels like a bridge transitional piece from the early works where she was using the palette knife to the later ones where they're more geometric in their abstraction.
Yeah.
You like this one, Alex? They would be terrific collages. I'm looking at you, Heather.
So she lived in Northern California.
Sausalito is,
Yeah.
she had a marvelous life. She did. She did quite well, although in her interview, she said, she was asked, what is success? And she said, well, I'm not sure what that means. For me personally, success means I spent my life doing what I did. But if you term success to be fame, I didn't really gain fame till I was in my 80s. So I don't know if that means she didn't really achieve financial success until later in life, but I think she led a comfortable life. She published quite a few volumes of poetry and essays, as well as sold her paintings. I don't know what size these are either. I threw this one in because it's so different from all the rest. This one may be part of the calligraphy, like her calligraphic. I don't really see the Arabic calligraphy connection, but maybe. I mean, I have seen, there's a wonderful West African artist named Mustafa Eliman who does amazing calligraphic imagery, but it's nothing like this. I didn't see many images like this when I was looking at her work. This one almost feels like a woodcut print. That's a little bit of feeling of like Hans Hofmann, whom we've talked about before too. Another Californian, well, he came from Europe, but he lived in California for a while. geometric abstractionist. Look at that little red square. So fantastic. Could be a house on the hill. Who knows what it represents? But I think it's very cool. The sky is falling, the pink sky. Maybe what we're reading is a mountain is really the ocean and it's a red sail. Who knows? I like it. Okay, so that's our slideshow. Any further thoughts or ideas or like or dislike? I do have several pages of her poems. If you like, while you're working today, I'm happy to read some poems. It is National Poetry Month, Poetry Awareness Month. Poetry is a wonderful art form. Here we are in the library, which is the Palace of Poetry. If not, I can just leave it here for folks to come up and read the poems for inspiration. There are many artists who use poetry, visual artists who use poetry for their inspiration.
It would be fun to hear you read at least one. This is Robin.
Thank you, Robin. I'm not the best reader. I have read for you guys in the past. What I would like to read the poem while we're working because I don't want to take up your work time. So let me explain to you what our choices for projects are today first. I'm going to put up an Adnan an Natal Adnan painting on the big screen. You may copy her work either from the big screen or off of your smartphones. Those of you who are here, those of you who are at home can look for her work on your devices at home. I don't usually offer this option, but her work is so abstract that you could easily create a landscape from your imagination, an abstract, more geometric type landscape for this project. Think hot colors, since she was born and raised in Lebanon and lived in California for, at least for part of the year, and was attracted to those very bright, deep, hot, intense colors. Here's the materials I brought in. There are oil pastels. There is acrylic paint, soft pastels. I have rulers so that you can draw your horizon line for the landscape. Pencils, as always. I think that about covers it. If anyone wants me to review color mixing, those of you who are here, I can do that at the very beginning of class. Just let me know. I did that in yesterday's class. Many of you were there. But if you were not and you want me to do a review, I'm very happy to do that. And never, ever, ever hesitate to ask for a review. I've been doing art literally now for 70 years. I love when people do review of technique for me. All right, any questions about what we're doing today, folks at home?
What's her name?
Etel, E-T-E-L, Adnan, A-D-N-A-N. And one last thing, folks who are here, because we have a full house now, don't move just yet. A reminder, because we're starting 30 minutes later than usual. Please, we have to stop and clean up quickly, and then we have to exit this space quickly so that the maintenance folks can come in and set up for the next project class presentation. If you want to talk, there's plenty of other space in the library to sit with your friends and talk. The what thing?
Then the whole thing kind of doesn't work.
The which thing?
I mean, if now we're not starting kind of like 30 minutes late and all this stuff, and it just ends at 12, that means that it cut 30 minutes.
No, we don't end at 12. We're ending at 12:30, but we still have to clean up and
All right.
exit at 12:30. No, we still have 2 hours. Yes, Laura. I'm gonna put the picture up. now. Ken,
Could you also just briefly show us? Because that's our work too. So you see some calligraphy at the top, and then you see Paris rooftops. And they seem to be something of the same feeling.
do you know what the link for this is?
Or just hold up to your camera.
Can people actually see?
Sure. Hold it close.
So here's some of her calligraphic work that Ken showed for us, found for us.
So the top is like calligraphy, and the bottom is Paris rooftops, like the lines of roofs. But you can see this similar feeling to the way she does this.
Very nice.
I was thinking about that landscape, painting that Liz said might be calligraphy. I was thinking that looked more like a map painted over.
Very beautiful.
So that's a little bit different from what we just saw in the slideshow. It's nice to see
Yes.
that has a great range that she experiments with.
Yeah, and it does look more, there's more of an affinity to that one that didn't look like anything else.
Mhm.
Okay, so Daniel brought up a good point. We still have the same amount of time in this class, but when I tell you to clean up, we have to stop, clean up, and get out of here on time. Stop, drop, and roll.
Baby.
All right, let's get set up. And because at least one person wants to hear me read a poem, once we're set up, I'm going to ask folks to get quiet and I'll read a poem. All right, let's go. Let's have some fun. I have to put the image up. Thank you, Laura. Love having someone remind me of things. I'm going to put one up was not in the slideshow. And in this one, simple is better. See if you find that easier to do or more challenging. So this one is very abstract. Love the colors. I love that she went to UC Berkeley.
I don't even know what to do. Now, I've never played, nor have I ever played football ever in my life. I bought an outfit. I took a selfie. I hit the ball once, and then I had to chase it. You look good in the outfit. I look cute in the outfit. I look cute in the outfit. Which I'm thrilled about. I'm dying to put back on. I have a racket. And I don't want to introduce myself. But I definitely will say, dinner, you know, by the summer, I'd love to. Yoga. I just never had the opportunity. You know, oh, yeah, we just started. You know what
And it's down.
Yes. Yes, that's what I need to. Oh, that's what's good. So, well, I know what? Kind of waiting on us. Because one of the. And one woman I used to love, she would. And it was like nervous, like they got out for anxiety. She just used to sit there all day. But my little girl was down, so she would always use me because she would sing that never would. She would use my she did for example, she it was like wow. She never she was great.
So I'm trying to find. And I remember. Yeah, it's maybe time. Our family is so built. Exactly. She's exploding. Okay. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I think your painting's fantastic, even for the art show. So the thing about this art show that I cannot decide is whether to lay our work flat on tables. Trying to figure out if we want to show more work flat on the tables, or do we want me to go to the trouble of bringing in the
Where is the
display?
show?
We're gonna be showing in St. Matthew Trinity storefront in Washington.
Oh, well, it needs to be up.
Whoops.
Yes,
Yeah.
no problem. I will. I will. I have good luck.
Portion is, it's gotta be done Saturday.
When is
April
it?
26th.
So it's the
The
Saturday,
Sunday, April 27th.
the Saturday, the 26th? Yeah. Yes, we have to.
But we're there, they're
I'll bring
very
cookies.
heavy.
I'm strong.
So we'll have to.
Yes.
Gotta get them in the car. Carrying motors. So I'll go.
Yeah, it's a pain in the neck, but no Bruno's,
It's a terrific opportunity for everyone because it's right on Washington Street. It is a Sunday, April 27th.
do we have to submit like a picture or what do we do? How we do?
I don't know the details yet, but by next week I should know because the following week you're gonna have to bring me your art.
Okay. I have two things I'm working on, and it's funny because one of the things could have been today. Without even knowing.
Yes, I want you to start putting work that you're considering for this show, put it in a pile.
Oh, I have
Put it
a
to
pile
one
for you,
side.
Liz.
If it's on computers, kind of the other print. The original form is electronic.
Sure it has your name on it.
I'm making stained glass. I've been painting these little strips of tissue paper. And I've been, because I was in spot safe. Here it is.
All right, this seems like a good place for me to start reading.
It's all wood.
I love the idea, love the concept. All right, so folks at home, I'm going to start reading the poem. Maybe I should just stand right here so that everyone can hear. I'm just going to read the first one. So these poems are by Atel Adnan, the artist we are looking at today. I don't have a title for this one. Hold on 1 minute. This is just selected poems by Atel Adnan. The sun came out at night to go for a stroll, and the divine crossed the room. The windows opened. Writing comes from a dialogue with time. It's made of a mirror in which thought is stripped and no longer knows itself. In Palermo, men are as strictly trained as horses, or else they have the shining violence of flowers. It's kind of nice. The shining violence of flowers. And here's the next poem. It's more bearable to think of death than of love. Greek thought explored all things the way it explored the islands. When men no longer have power over women, over whom will they have it? All Sicily is painted by the planting of vines, the shards of grief that a teapot transforms into inexpressible joy. The barberry figs ripen on brilliant mornings with firm flesh, with certain steps. Enough, or should I keep reading?
Maybe a few more.
Okay, a little more. Okay, this one is called, I think poem is called At 2 p.m. in the Afternoon. When no one is waiting for us any longer, there's death, so faithful. Broken souls are not anonymous, no more than the geometry reserved for my naked feet. There are moments when the past ceases to be a form of the present. Rain and tears look alike. Syria has always been the mother of chaos, a land parallel to all the others. In the epiphany of a sun to come, breathless. The olive tree in Delphi, next to the temple of Sicyon, remembers the oracle saying that somewhere in the plain linking the Red Sea to the Dead Sea, music will displace the sky. Ruins are relics. The lineage being of little importance, we're related to them. You know? I don't know. I think something about 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Right. All right, I'll read a little bit more. This one is from Baalbek, which is spelled Baalbeck, and it was written in French, translated by Sarah Riggs, written by Atel Adnan. Baalbek. Those who cannot leave discover the geography of the body. There are also airfields and harbors on the surface of our souls. Don't leave the Mediterranean without telling her that you loved her. Her daughters and her sons went north, a day of rain or a day of war. As for me, I belong to the stones thrown for lack of helicopters, to the women locked up, to the political prisoners. Sometimes I regret my love of splendor, but our solar mother star and the lunar father in their way. have entrusted us with useless objects from a forgotten century. There's more. Maybe I'll read more later. You're welcome.
They're a wonderful addition while painting, and they all have so much meaning. It's really lovely. Thanks, Liz.
You're welcome, Robin. Welcome to National Poetry History Month, or Awareness Month. I had a wonderful drawing teacher in college who used to read to us while we were drawing, figurative drawing. He used to read things like Kurt Vonnegut. Oh. It's really cool. Yeah. That was enough. Everyone, I like you very, very, very much. Oh, good, that's what I'm doing.
I wanna
mean, not
get-
good for you, but that's what I'm.
I
I'm
want
glad
to
you asked
try
for
to
help.
get ale left. Ale left.
So we do have a purple kit, so that's the good news. Yeah, let me get another piece of paper, okay. I had, you know, very swift little, are you not? Oh,
Yeah, I kept this part to check it down here.
oops, I'm gonna say, excuse me, I was gonna use this that I want to show. Okay, right. So first of all, which two colors need to go?
Blue is one.
Good.
Red? Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Yes, maybe of this. This is the fun part about color mixing. Seriously.
And somebody did a word for it in Gallon water. It was in a court where he was testing the word for it was really interesting.
Oh, like this color or is it?
More blue. That's. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so very pale.
yeah, yeah.
The way to make it very pale is just use a lot of water.
Okay.
In this box, This is black.
Okay, but I tried it and it really didn't have blue. Oh, it's
It's
lavender. Oh, okay.
It's more of a blue lavender.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
more of
yeah.
a red. But I wanted you to try this.
Okay, thank you.
Fine, I'm on your left.
Oh, my goodness. Why did they come here?
Spaghetti. Feels like an excuse.
Oh, I love the tea.
I just made a little art corner in my work bedroom. You know, I was thinking about it. I love it.
It's showing now. I think it's. Let me check. Either Mama or the Whitney, an African American artist who we just lost, unfortunately, Jack Whitten. He's an abstract painter who used acrylic skins
Ooh, I like it.
with let's layers and layers of acrylic paint dry. He invented
You
the
studied it.
technique. We did. Remember.
I remembered that because I loved him. Loved that whole skin thing.
I can't remember if it's at Mom or the Whitney. There was just an article about it.
And we can go to Moment.
Yep.
Oh, MOBA? Oh,
You have to tell them in
It's
advance.
very expensive.
Is it that Moment? Oh, I don't know. You can go free.
You can get free tickets from the library, but you have to go in advance here. and Get your ticket. Mama. Till August 2nd. The show is called The Messenger. I'm excited next weekend, I'm gonna be in DC.
Oh, I love racing.
And I'm going to the Hirshhorn. I'm gonna see, the Basquiat Banksy show.
Oh, wow.
Well, is Banksy somebody they don't know who it is?
Yeah.
And you're gonna get to see all the cherry blossom tree.
Apparently, I'm gonna miss it. It's this week. I have never been. Always miss the title.
You know what? You want me to help
Where's
you travel
Newark?
school?
Park? Yeah,
So
Brad.
I'm there in
Yeah,
Newark.
Go to Newark.
I always miss it.
And Newark is late for 10 to Lawrence. It's later than the Washington.
I'm going to Newark. Yeah, it's one. Yeah. Yes, it's wonderful. It's unbelievable. Yeah, we'll have time to do another one. You're not relating.
I know. I have phone trouble.
Great.
Well, in fact, it's the technology. Let's say that the lifeline service is having kind of confusion, canceling my lifeline service. No reason. You know, that you something you have to call, you want to check on the computer, but what can I open? That was a little while, or automatically. And if you want to make a phone call, you have to follow someone that, you know, have you only have one phone. You have kind of problems.
No, I feel your pain. here's a suggestion. The library has a wonderful collection of art. Walk to the first floor. And you walk past the circulation desk, and you have to walk up some wrought iron steps to a little lane.
And I think that my problem.
It won't have you with your phone, but you can look through the article. You bring one to life.
I already made it.
Okay, well. The art has a great way of taking your mind off your problems.
Actually, I'm going to get up the problem. So honestly, when people have
That's
a
true
problem,
too.
when people have a problem, sometimes please have them, you can help them with what happens in the way that they live.
Very good, it's very true. Very true.
Okay, well, but I can't help you with it. Best I can do for you today is just try. That's not work.
Takes time.
This is something you can use for that.
I'm just trying to make it lighter.
Yeah, I'll make some of the bed and something super light. Way more fun. Any of that. You always start with the lightest color. It's easier to make things dark than it is to try and like, you know, I learned. That's the way it works. Without them being so light because of taking people. Yeah, that color's awesome. Use it. And it doesn't have to be just like her. She used, first of all, the painting you're looking at was done with oil paint. You have acrylic paint. They can never be the same. So oils and acrylics are made with different chemicals. And probably totally different manufacturers. So the color is not ever going to be the same. So give that idea up.
Thursday's number.
I know.
The sunset and sunrise get shots. The one day. Don't hold it. I
What I love you allowed that came up over there.
Yeah, she helped me.
Great.
But it's fun to just do the.
Lovely color. You can bring this right back.
I'll go right in and keep it. 'Cause I'm using it.
Down with it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, are you using soft or oil? It's soft, never mind, what I wanted to show you is not.
Oh.
But yeah, oil. Wow, Shirley, that is really intense color. It's a very intense color for soft pastel. Very beautiful. Kind of, that is nice. Time to do it. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, yeah. You don't start with red, it's the one. But it's switched from water.
This is your water that you want to dump,
Yeah, yeah. I got it.
so you don't need any water at all.
No. Are you drinking? No, that was one of your.
Just checking.
Your things.
Yeah, somebody's in the bathroom.
Oh.
I'll go with it. On Thursday night, I'm gonna be back here in this room. I'm gonna be part of a program about resiliency in the face of flooding.
Oh, I
and heat.
Oh, pretty cool.
Yeah,
Flooding and heat.
yes. How to deal with flooding and extreme heat in the urban.
It's our future.
It is our future, and we are gonna do an art project at the end. So,
Thursday.
come if you can, it starts at 6:30, it's gonna be right here in this bit.
Thursday night? This Thursday night.
This Thursday.
I'm trying to put the right things
I
down.
am not really the presenter, there's gonna be a presentation first, and then I'm helping the art activity at the end. I was part of the group that created this presentation, but I'm not one of the presenters. Part of my environmental love. It's my other hat. Part of the Northern New Jersey Resiliency Group.
I'm gonna add right now.
The other problem for me is that day, people's gonna be showing more level. So it doesn't even
It sounds like a fun day.
It's gonna be so much.
Just let me know what time you're gonna need.
All right, well, let's change.
Yes.
Just fix it. That's my comment. After the next election, put it on a phone, will rise, and that would be just the phone to the bottom of our document. S P A D A B E C C H I A W X Y Z. Para de aquí. Oh, yeah.
Nice surprise.
Yeah, like on a mile. I didn't want to. Crazy weeks when they're not.
There's a lot of trauma.
I understand, I understand, that's all I have to do, but. What is?
Yeah, I don't know if you wanted. Yeah, we can do that. One thing you might want to do is extend this color over the brown. Yeah. It's maybe a lemon. It's too much for me. It's different. Yeah. The one suggestion I have, you might want to make those bullet lines. Almost like. This. People listening to the poetry. You were really listening to the poetry.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wasn't
okay.
into the poetry. I was thinking of these dark thoughts.
Yeah. The white on the paper.
Wasn't that familiar? They showed up at this, Tesla fucking.
I'm starting with red.
They're very much.
Interesting.
So that's where we started with yellow. And that's the color. Red. And I got that. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, well, that would happen in the end, but no, that's normal.
It just takes over.
I think it's something that we don't know.
Like something.
I heard of one got arrested. When Denise showed up and she was sobbing, and she says, "I'm the only one that got it in the hospital." They were really like that in the 60s with this kind of. They were really ones,
And the competition.
Well, I guess they both show me about it. And they got things in their. It's like a slideshow.
Yeah. So they worked with them.
That's right. Yeah. So it's like something.
Yeah.
I think I can do that.
Well, it's a whole different meeting. But there's a big march this Saturday. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I heard.
Folks at home, how are we doing? We're good. I kind of left you in peace today. Folks who are here, we have 10 minutes till we clean up, yes. This poem is, I'm going to read one last poem. This poem is called October 27th, 2003. Again, written in French by Atel Adnan. Truths are department stores. You are going up, you take the escalator, you don't come back. In the tentative darkness of the raisins, there was half of the sun, then the shadow of the past. Sometimes I get ready for the voyage of no return.
Wow.
But dawn raises the curtains, and my adolescence is standing at the corner of nowhere, under the wonder of cold skies. And then this poem is called From No Sky. Light blinds the animals. They await the night. She is more likely their Messiah than ours. I went out to see the sea from my terrace. It looked at me. I understood that I mustn't launch myself into its fierce waves. Put out your lights before going to sleep. The sun kissed you, leaving burns on your face. It returned to its solitude. Happy poetry. And now, unfortunately, we have only 3 minutes left till clean up. So start finishing up, folks who are here.
One more.
This class is so good for my soul. That's good for my soul to hear. Makes it all worthwhile for me.
Ever considered.
You can thank her too.
Yeah, and her poetry sounds good. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah,
She sounds very.
she's written many books. You're welcome, Esty. See you soon. Thank you for coming.
You can go to my. I wish I could be with you.
I know you do. You'll be with us.
I was inspired by her. Clean. Yeah. Love that. We're just gonna text her. My grandfather.
Many people. I love. Yeah. My brain. I've done a lot of stuff from the past with over there. Like you saw, they are. Right, folks, we must clean up time. Let's see how it goes. This is our first time cleaning up at this time. Let's break all records today. I think we're gonna forego sharing today, sorry. You've done beautiful work, but I want to make sure on our maiden voyage, cleaning up at this later departure time, that we do it right. I'm gonna make it, this is a fun thing.
Yes, if I get it, if you want it, right,
Oh, okay. I wish you luck. I hope when you come next week, you're gonna tell us. Feelings are deep. We all have moments and bad days. I get it. My advice that what that's no one.
Oh, I like it because it's connected. You know, mine was not connected. The never order.
No, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one.
Because I kind of just gonna say.
See you soon. That's not what they're saying. It's not what they're saying. We'll talk more about it next week. We'll talk more about it next week, Daniel. I have to say some things to the folks at home. Folks at home, we are wrapping things up here because we are sensitive to the maintenance crew at the library, and we want to make sure we're out of here on time for our first. Excuse me, Daniel. I'm going to talk to the folks at home, and and then I'll talk to you. Don't leave. I want to just say some things. So now that we have this new departure time, folks at home, we're trying to clean up and get out of here quickly. We're not going to do sharing today to make sure that we know we're capable of doing this correctly. I'm not quite ready to say goodbye yet, but I do want to say I hope you enjoyed this artist and this project. I hope that if you're not finished, you will continue on your artwork. And next week, we will have a new artist and we will talk more about our art show. I'll have more specific details about our art show on April 27th, where and how to bring your artwork for that art show, etc. So no goodbyes just yet. Hang in there if you like, or if you're ready to sign off, I will see you in a month. But no time for sharing today. I'm so sorry, folks at home. All right, Dan.
I was just gonna ask you, why couldn't we go back, pre-COVID, we started, at 3. And
No, this is my, I'm saving it because
That you need to talk to Laura.
I'm gonna show you.
Not something.
I'm saving it because it was my scrap underneath, but it's starting something.
You're welcome. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna handle it, something
You
started.
too.
Yeah.
All right, Laura, look, we're capable.
Hi, Robin.
Not yet, because we still have like 10 minutes.
Hey, Susan.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, and that's good, because I have to go to Acme.
Robin says you can just catch a bus.
Bye, Robin.
It's only taking that one organization when you got that already. One of them just suggested work.
Is it in the chat? I'm going to stop the share, folks at home. I'm looking in the chat. Sorry, I didn't notice. Someone has a question. Watercolor organizations. I don't know of any. I'm sorry. I'm sure there are many. Have you checked online? I don't know. It doesn't look that way. I'll contact her. Yeah, I'll contact her. All right. So I'm signing off, folks. Art on. I will see everyone next week. We will continue celebrating Arab American History Month, National Poetry Month, and Jazz Awareness